Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to get the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. I am just drinking a little bit of water here because hydration is important. That is the most important. But the one thing I do have that's really important is my cup mug. And how and you can get your cup mug at lanajuicecreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period. And thank you. Oh.
And hey, I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. On this here occasion today, I've got some coffee.
Period.
As per usual, it's a morning recording for me here. I've got some caramel hazelnut coffee on this occasion. Just trying to get caffeinated because, baby, we got a lot to talk about today with this recoupling, Lana.
Oh,
The
baby.
spice was here. The mess, and the mess. I can't wait to dive into it.
And we are going to do just that. But before we do, y'all know what to do. Please, please, and please hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button because we are on a mission here at the Cup TV and across the Cup Network to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. So help us out. And then go look in the links below and subscribe to all of our other channels as well because they are also on a mission of getting 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So please, please, please help us out so we can unlock a lot of fun things here on this channel. Subscribe to this channel, all other channels. Go to our audio podcast links. Click that if you need to check us out on the go. And our Patreon is open. We got a lot of fun things going in there. We're celebrating Pride Month in there. So happy Pride to those who celebrate. So if you have not subscribed to our page, joined our Patreon, join the Patreon. That'd be great. And then follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. So yeah, let's get into this, Logan, because we got a
I think we
lot
have
to
to.
talk about. We
I
just
think we
have
have
to.
to, Lana.
Wait,
Oh.
hold on.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-na-na-na.
I got a text.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
A hot new bombshell has entered the villa.
Wait, what does that even mean?
I wonder who it could be. Ah!
He is gagged. Oh,
Yeah.
Gag
gorgeous,
me a
gorgeous
bit.
girly. The ABG finally arrives into the villa like she manifested.
Period.
Yes,
Miss Tiffany Ann
baby.
Co is in the building, y'all. We talking Love Island with Tiffany Ann Co. The queen from Drag Race Canada. You see how our worlds are colliding right now?
They cross over. This is the first step of to getting me into the actual villa. Like, send me to Fiji. I don't want to be a
Period.
contestant. I just want to compete. So, tag me in.
Period.
Period.
I mean, did I say I don't want to compete? No, I
Yeah.
don't want to compete. I just want to be there to be like, hey guys. So today's challenge, this is what you're gonna do. Like
Literally.
that's all I want to do.
I mean,
Oh my
Tiffany
god,
and Co
please.
hosting a challenge is like
It just makes
it
sense.
just makes
It
sense.
just makes sense.
Yeah, the resident hot girl hire of the office. Like it just makes
Come
absolute
on
sense.
Come on
now.
now. And the challenge is they have to lip sync for their life. Like what?
Yeah, they would do it. They would
They
love to
have
do it.
to. I think they would love it. I
Because
think they
I
would
know
love
I
it.
had to lip sync for my life a couple of times. So
I think you know what that's about. I think you'll be a perfect
yeah.
judge for that.
Oh my god. Tiff. We're
Hi.
so happy to have you.
I mean, thank you for having me. Like, this is like so exciting. I think we were like, Logan and I were DMing, and I was like, wait, I do need to hop onto this. Because you guys were trying
Yeah.
to get me onto like an All Stars 10
Yep.
recap. But
Mhm.
because I'm like with my schedule, you guys do it on
Yeah.
the Friday. So I like
Yeah.
travel a lot for work now, which is really nice. But I was like, during the week, it's a different story.
Yeah.
I was gonna
So
say during the week, and we've got Love Island going on right now.
I have
Things have
time.
worked out a little bit better here
Yes.
to
And I
get you on
mean,
to the Love Island USA, baby.
and
So
I think me personally, I feel like this is kismet, this is fate, because we do have Soul Ties Live every Monday,
Ooh.
Tuesday, and Wednesday at 2:10 p.m. Eastern, and Friday and Saturday at 6:10 Eastern. I think that's a perfect segue because Tiffany, if ever any of these times suits you, you can always just jump on and we can
Oh, I'll
talk
hop
more
on.
Love Island.
Girl,
Period.
you
By all
said Monday,
means,
Tuesday,
baby.
Wednesday. Those
By
are
all
Period.
means,
my
baby.
days I don't work. Friday, Saturday. Maybe I could do it like a
Period.
pre gig little hop
Yes.
on.
We'll see what we can do. Like
You
we'll
know
Yeah.
figure
you
it
are
out.
always welcome here. You know your cup family always,
Just really
baby.
Always.
like get
Like
her off. We would like to dump Tiffany from the cup, please. Get her off.
oh, never, baby, never, never,
They can
never.
never.
But I will
If
say, you are the first. You are the first girl to make the jump over to the Cup TV, though.
I'm the
Mhm.
You
first
are the first.
crossover.
You are the
You
first
are.
crossover for real, for real.
It makes
So,
sense.
but
We
Lana,
love
pop
that.
that banner back up because we got to talk about where we're at for Love Island UK as well.
We do no invite needed live on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern and Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you are into the UK girlies, like we and Logan apparently have fallen into the UK girlies too, join us for No Invite Live, No Invite Needed live on Tuesdays and Fridays. And yeah, Love Island has taken over the Cup TV, and we appreciate it because we love it here. So
It's
enough
taken
about
over
us.
my life.
It
So
is. It
it's
has
taken
a
over the Cup
chokehold
TV, but
on. It has a chokehold on my
yeah.
life. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
I leave recordings. I leave production meetings. I leave everything. Like, listen, let's wrap this up. It's 8 o'clock, and Love Island has dropped. I need to get there.
Yeah.
It's taking a hold. And this
What kills me
episode,
though, there's no episode tonight.
no.
I
You know
know.
what?
I
I'm thankful. I need a break. I
Need a
need
break
a
too.
break. I'm thankful for this Wednesday. Usually every Wednesday I'm like, oh, this is it's crazy.
yeah.
Today, I'm thankful because yesterday, these last 3 days, I've been
Yeah.
drama and emotionally draining. For me as a watcher, I can't even imagine what those Islanders are going through because I would have been
Mhm.
like scaling the walls. Get me out of here. This is crazy.
Literally.
Meanwhile, I'm like this. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. What else is Jeremiah? What else is he? Tell him. I would have lived.
I
Uh,
love this. And we're going to talk all about that because let's get into it because, baby,
yes, please.
y'all,
This
it is.
poster, I'm screaming.
Uh,
Ah!
Just move Taylor over so it looks
I
less
know,
like
I know. I need to.
lonely.
Yeah, I
we're going
know.
to
I
figure
need
it out.
to. We
We're
need
going to
to.
figure that out. But Taylor looks like he's the one man that doesn't belong in the group. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's just
But
lonely over there.
we'll figure it out. We'll move him. But these Islanders, these Islanders. Yeah, I kept
Yeah.
this posted the same because I just like we just need to talk about them all together because a lot of this stuff. This episode was the Huda Jeremiah show all over again, but
Mhm.
for other reasons. And Tiffany, you hadn't been here for the talk about Love Island, so I would love to get your view on overall the season thus far up until this point. So let me
Okay.
know.
I felt from the beginning, like usually with Love Island, it takes me a while to get into it because, like, episode one, you don't know them yet. You're not invested into any of their relationships or their storylines. So I was kind of like meh with them. And for me, I felt like they were trying to recreate season six
Yep.
with the casting, I think, with Alondria, Shelley, and Huda. It just felt very similar to me, even with Alondria coupling up with Taylor, felt very Serena and Cordell. It just felt
Mhm.
very that to me. So I wasn't like as invested. But then now that we're moving forward through, we're like on episode 12 now. I'm starting to like feel my way around things. I was obsessed with Charlie. I thought he was so hot. I also thought like Jeremiah and Ace were really hot, but then I was like, now I think Jeremiah is like Gaslight Central. I think Ace is just playing the field. So now I'm like not sure who I'm really into. I love Shelly, I love Alondria. Hannah, I find kind of like annoying right now. I haven't like bought onto her.
Not too much on my
I
girl. That's
haven't,
my hometown girl. She's from my town.
and I'm
You
sure
mean,
But
she's
I
great,
agree.
but
But I
yeah.
she's
agree.
Mhm.
But I
like, she's
agree.
just not my
Give
cup
me
of tea right now.
hmm
I think, like, how are you gonna like have a meltdown and go to sleep with your photo with Charlie, and then the next day you're all about Pepe? Like, it's kind of like it just. I think they're all playing. She's playing a game right now, and I kind of think reality TV has turned into a game. But also, if like Pepe were to pull me for a chat, I would probably be the same, where I'd be like, I don't know who Charlie was. I'm all about Pepe now as well. So it's really like, I
Facts.
don't know. It's very interesting. I also think like Nick, I'm just gonna keep going, but I think
Go
Nick
ahead.
needs to like mind his relationship with Sierra a little bit more. He's too invested in Jeremiah and Huda. And I understand like they're in the villa, they have to see it all the time. But I just noticed with a bunch of the scenes, it's always Nick bringing up Jeremiah and Huda as a conversation. So I'm like, you're kind of obsessed with them when you should be focused on your own relationships.
hmm I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone else peeped that, but yeah.
Oh
I would
no, we
definitely.
talked about it yesterday.
Okay.
Like we read Nick's ass yesterday because
Yeah.
like the way that he was moving so weirdly in that entire situation. Like for me, the entire blow up yesterday where Hada like was like the entire Hada blow up where she
Mm,
was like, go explore. That was all Nick's doing. Like
yeah.
Hada going over and like having her moment with him there and her like spying on the whole situation, all of that was Nick's doing because Nick was the one perpetuating this
Mm,
story. And like it was an isolated thing. Had Hada heard the part of the conversation where Jeremiah was just saying that the date with Iris was good and that was that, I don't think she would have blown up in the way that she did. But the only
mhm,
part of the conversation she heard was the part where Nick was saying that he thought Jeremiah was ready to dump Hutta for Iris, which was not the case.
yeah.
So it's like all of this is being perpetuated by Nick in this part of the conversation. And I'm
Mhm,
like, baby, Nick, you need to worry about your couple. Obviously, like we saw what happened in the recoupling, it's fine, but it's like,
yeah.
Nick, you need to mind your P's and Q's right now instead of being involved in this relationship that you have no reason to be involved in. I'm
But it
still
was
pissed
like
off at Nick from that whole situation.
he did it even like a few episodes back at the fireplace. Wasn't he the one that was like, "Oh, I don't trust the way Huda's moving. Like, there's
hmm
ulterior motives." So then that already
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
caused Jeremiah to spiral, and he already felt some
Flip
type of
flop, flip
way.
flop, flip flop, flip
He
flop.
like Nick needs to stop flip flopping, and I feel like what is happening is he's so bored in his relationship with Sierra, so he's finding like he's focusing on something else. Because like
I
yeah,
mean,
maybe he feels comfortable and like safe with his relationship with Sierra, but it's like then why are you now putting your hands in Jeremiah's and Huda's relationship, and it's causing them to spiral because Huda's crashing out because of like the behaviors that Jeremiah's portraying, but then he's only acting like that because the guys are in his ears saying X, Y, and Z about him. So, and her relationship. So it's, I don't know. I think Nick just needs to like shut up.
okay,
Agreed.
here's my take. Nick is bored in his situation. He's bored. He's bored with this whole Jeremiah Hood situation. He's
Mhm.
bored in his house. They're stuck in his house 24/7. Him and Sierra are secure. She has given him no reason to feel like she is going anywhere. He has given her no reason to feel like he is going anywhere. So they have secured the bag for themselves. So
Mm.
he's like content. So now, what am I supposed to do with the 23 hours of the day where I'm just after I've just sit here and me and Sierra's good. She kissed, we kiss in the morning, we kiss at night, we see each other, we point at each other, hey, we good, we good. Like, what is he supposed to do with the 18 hours of the day besides
Yeah.
work out and eat some pancakes and and run around the villa? So Nick says, I'm bored. And here's where I understand it. Because when I'm in a game situation, which they are in, we can call it a violent, but this is a game. If
Yeah.
I'm in a game situation and the game is just going so smoothly and it's so good and nothing's happening, I'm bored. So I need to stir up some trouble in
Mm.
order to get this game exciting. And Nick is doing just that. Is it right? is it right? Because no, because these are people's lives we're talking about here. These are
Yeah.
people's actual relationships. So I get it. But I think Nick is bored. Ace's production, and I think they are out here making things happen where nothing is happening. Because
Mm.
Austin ain't gonna do nothing. He's boring. He's toast. Charlie wasn't doing anything. He was boring. He
Yeah.
was toast. Taylor don't know how to do nothing without Nick or Ace telling him to do anything, so
Mm.
he's toast. Jeremiah's too lost in the Huda sauce to do anything else but Huda. So it's just like, and these girls are all delusional where they just want to keep telling Huda, oh no, girl, you're fine. You're doing
Yeah.
everything right. And all so nobody is doing anything. And Nick and Ace are bored. And so they are like, you know what? Let's make some stuff happen. Let's shake the table a little bit for entertainment packages. And you know what? I'm happy as a viewer to see that because I don't want to be bored this entire season of Love Island.
Yeah.
So them shaking the table a little bit, I'm like, oh, make it happen. What else you say, Nick? Oh, she's the most understanding person in the world. And Nick is like, yeah, I'm intimidated by you, girl. And it's
Yeah.
like the little things that he says. I'm like, he's never wrong, but he's always, it's sometimes the timing ain't right for him to say it. Like he ain't need to go in as hard on Jeremiah
Mm.
right after that happened, after America put Jeremiah with Iris. Like he didn't have to go in as hard, but what he was saying wasn't wrong, if that makes sense.
I
And
kind of feel like though, sorry,
no, you
but
go ahead.
like what I feel is like if Nick is going to have these opinions about like Jeremiah or Huda,
Uh-huh.
then like I have more respect for people who will say things with their chest and like actually mean it. Whereas
Hmm.
I think with Nick, he's saying one thing to Jeremiah, being like, "You're totally right. You can do better." Da 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 da. Then the next second, he's with Huda. You know, I
You're
totally get
right.
you. You're right. It's like pick a side.
And that's my problem with Jeremiah and I mean Nick and Ace. They both did the same thing. You stood up and you voted for her to go. You stood
Hmm.
up and you voted for her to go. And then when she pulls you one on one, everything is Jeremiah's fault. Everything is
Yeah.
Jeremiah's fault. It's all on Jeremiah. But then when you talk to Jeremiah, it's all on Huda. And I'm like, I need y'all to man
Yeah.
up. Man up and say with your whole chest what you mean. Say
Yeah.
it loud, say it proud. Girl, you are the problem. We see your toxic traits, or Jeremiah, you are the problem. You love bombed her and everything. But we all know it's the problem. America and everybody around the world who voted, we all know who the problem is. Both of them.
Both of
They are
them.
both the
Yeah.
problem. They are both toxic. They are both the problem. They both love bombed each other. They both clammed on each other, and they both shut themselves off from
Mhm.
everybody else in the villa. So both of them are the problem. And when they get out of this villa, oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my God. The shock they are going to see. Huda is going to crash out again because she's going to not believe, oh, America, she's going to realize America did hate me. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not hate. America don't hate you. We feel bad for you. We felt like you were just, this wasn't the place for you. I couldn't stand you. I'm not going, I don't hate anybody. I
I
just didn't like you in this
I
village,
don't
in this
hate
situation.
her. I
Yeah.
don't hate her. I hate her behavior. That's
Yes.
what I hate. Like, I hate her behavior in here. And frankly, I hate a
Mm.
lot of his behavior as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they
Mm-hmm.
are the absolute worst case for each other. And I
Yeah.
think ultimately what we're seeing is we're seeing two people who do not work for each other, who thought they worked for each other, not working for each other, bringing out the worst in each other. And that's ultimately like and then the entire villa is suffering over it. And I
Mm.
think what the most interesting part of this episode was to hear people finally acknowledging that the villa overall is suffering as a
Yeah.
result of this entire situation. I was like, thank you, Austin, for and I still don't
Oh,
like him that much, but
I
Yeah.
hate
thank
them at
you,
all.
Austin, for finally acknowledging that the entire villa is suffering as a
Yeah.
result of
Mm-hmm.
these two bringing the entire energy down. And
Yeah.
I don't want to get on these women this episode, but I'm going to get on these women in this entire, because like, I don't want to be on the side of these men this entire season,
Yeah.
but these women need to get their asses in check.
But I also think like because there was that scene where Hannah pulls Huda aside after she like cries because
Jeremiah pulls
Jeremiah
out Iris's
pulls up a
chair.
chair, which I think is like dramatic AF. But like I think for me, I would kind of be in the same situation because it's like, this is my friend that is like going through it. And even though if I've
Yeah.
like, like told her 75 times that you're going to be like, you're better, you deserve better, da da da, I would still
Yeah.
be Hannah in this situation where I would pull them aside and be like,
Yeah.
keep your head up. Like, you were a
Hmm.
mother before everything else. Like,
Hmm.
you don't need to worry about some guy who you met 2 weeks ago. Like, so I would do the same in that situation. Would I be exhausted doing it for 24 hours a day for 2 weeks that I've been there? Absolutely. But I think I would still be that person.
I would be that girl to be
Yeah.
like, I would be the girl to be like, hey girl, you gonna be fine. This isn't the end of your experience. You could, turn it around, everything's fine. But I will also be that friend when I see she bugging and she tripping and she
Mm.
doing the most to be like, hey girl, look, I love
Girl.
you, but you are tripping. This man didn't plan the date. You can't be mad
Yeah.
that production told him to go on a date and America put him in a new couple. He didn't choose any of this. So
Yeah.
you being mad at him is a little weird. So
Yeah.
I need you to lock the in, act like you got some sense, and
Yeah.
let's be the queens that we are. Let's not let these men have us out here looking crazy and tripping over something that they didn't control. He did not ask to be in the couple. He did not ask to go on a
Mm.
date. He did not plan the date, and he did not say, "Oh, this is her dream date, so I'm going to do it." Where do you want this man to sleep if he can't sleep in his own bed that he got because somebody else did it? You want him to go out and soul ties and sleep with Ace? That ain't happening.
Because Ace
So
has been the resident
soul
person
tie
in Soul
sleeper.
Ties for the
Yeah.
last 5 days, as
5 days.
Ariana Madix made us aware of again in this episode. Is
So
like,
I'm
where do
like,
you want him to
where do you
sleep?
want
In
him
the
to sleep?
grass?
In the
In the
daycare?
Yes.
pool?
Outside? Absolutely not.
Yes.
And I'll be
By the
like,
fireplace.
you
There
are
are so
tripping.
many like areas for him to sleep. I mean, like, this is the
No,
thing. Like, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I'm like also
absolutely
like
not.
she should not
Sure.
be tripping because like at the end of the day, these are the protocols or like the rules, whether they choose to follow them or not, that are set up by production. So I understand like kissing in a challenge, like that is irrelevant because like you can't hold that against him when he's just playing the like doing the challenge. But at the same time, I also think he set that precedent because remember, like I think it
Yes.
was literally night one when they were
Yes.
blindfolded kissing each other and then he started spiraling like I think she's lying, I think she kissed someone else, and it's like whether she did or not, you just met her that morning or the day before, whatever. So he's already kind of set that precedent with her being upset with challenge kisses. So of
Yes.
course as her she's going to be like, well, he was upset, I get to be upset too because this is like claiming marking my territory. He did the same to her, right? Like,
I think,
I don't think either of them are right or wrong in this situation. Like, they're both wrong, actually.
Agreed.
But I also think, like, in her defense, not saying, I mean, I'm like kind of like more Team Huda than I am Team Jeremiah, but like,
Mhm.
it's, I forgot where my train of thought was with this. I literally just, wow.
no, I get what you're saying. It's just she feels the need that she can react the same way he reacted because he
Yeah.
set that precedent of doing it. But I also feel like she take took that precedent and took it to an extreme
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
he did that the once and then it was like, okay, I believe you, it is what it is. She's done it in every challenge
Mm.
since then, and to the point where she is now being rude to the bombshells coming in. At least in the first blindfold challenge, it was just the people who she was in the villa with
Yeah.
already.
Right.
Now she bringing other bombshells in, and she calling them bitches and hoes, and
Yeah.
they ain't this and they ain't that. They can't compete to me. They can't compare to me. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you doing a whole back being like? Get the fuck
Yeah.
back. Like, hold on. You're doing too much.
Yeah.
And her friend should have been like, honey, if you and then she's not only doing it, but then she's like back like not being honest about it. Like
Mm.
before when they were in the challenge with the pie and Jeremiah had to kiss Alandria and they did that little peck and she was like, I mean, you could have kissed her more. I don't care. I don't care. But then when they go to the wood cabin and he does kiss her, why did you kiss her? I mean, why did you kiss
Yeah.
her? You didn't have to do girl. I'm
Yeah.
gonna need you to take your bipolar behavior
Yeah.
and regulate it because you're being too much for me. I don't know and that's the problem. Everybody in this villa walks around eggshells with Huda because she
Mm,
set it up that way. She set the precedent when she came in. She made all the girls feel like we're all sisters. We're sisterhood. This is a sisterhood bond, and we're sisters. And nobody can go against sisterhood. We love each other. We're sisters. And then she marked her territory with Jeremiah. So none of the girls ever went after Jeremiah. Nobody ever talked to Jeremiah. And he did his part too, because he made sure none of the boys talked to her because they were booed up day one.
mm,
They were booed up. And so it was like, the villain was shut off. Y'all can't talk to each other. Then she gave Jeremiah, hit Jeremiah with, I'm the mother. I'm a mother. And but don't tell anybody.
mm,
Therefore, she's now isolating Jeremiah from talking to anybody about what he has to deal with and process this bombshell of she's a mom. So he can't talk to anybody about it because she don't want him to tell anybody. The girls know because she told Alandria and Shelly, but
mm,
Jeremiah don't know she told Alandria and Shelly. She just knows he can't tell anybody. So now he has to process this on his own, and the only person he can talk to about it is her. And if he talks to her about it, she's gonna say, "Oh no, everything's great. We're great. We're great. We're great." And then she starts using sex and all this physical
mm.
touch as a weapon. Huda knows what she's been doing. She's been doing it since day one, and she's been manipulating this entire villa to make sure that the people who she likes like her and will stand beside her. And this episode proved it in this. Well, we'll get to that at the end. But she has cut Jeremiah off from talking to anybody who about processing such a big news about her being a mom and him trying to decide if he wants to be with a mother. Because I feel
Mm.
like she stripped away that choice from him because she let him get in. He likes her now, and that's what she wanted. I want you to like me enough so when I do tell you I have a kid, you don't want to leave me
Yeah.
because she has abandonment issues. This is my problem with Huda. She has manipulated this whole situation with Jeremiah, and his reactions from her and her reactions from him are just nasty work. It's toxic. It went from entertaining to watch to now I'm don't want to watch it anymore. I'm
Mm,
exhausted of watching them because they took it to a level of like, ugh. And then she says, after she tells Jeremiah and they go on a date, and he tells her and expresses interest of why he feels like he wants to talk to somebody, but he can't. He got a lot going on. I'll tell Nick. So now she's controlling who he could talk to. He can only talk to Nick about this. So she has isolated him from talking to everybody else and then decides who he can talk to about it because now she'll only tell Nick. And it's like, okay, so now he talks to Nick and Nick is telling him it's a big responsibility. He finally
mm.
talks to Orlandria because Orlandria is the only person that Huda doesn't feel threatened by and feels like she can trust to talk to her man without her feeling some type of way. And so he talks to Orlandria and Nick and Orlandria like says the same thing. It's a big responsibility. You're not dealing with just Huda. She got a package. She's dealing with three people. All these things.
Mm.
And Orlandria's and so now Jeremiah's like, okay, I think that man wanted to walk away the second she said she
Yeah.
was a mother. But
Yeah.
this man also wanted to win. He is a guy, he wants to win this game. Little does he know there is no way in God's green earth his hand is getting anywhere near that 100K. He's not
Yeah.
winning. He's not winning. But he wants to win. And he literally said that. Could have just let it fly by his head. When we win, we can figure it out. And Hunter was like, oh, I'm not even thinking about that. He was like, oh,
Mm.
like maybe that was the first flag for you to be like, oh, this man is gaming.
Yeah.
This man is gaming. He's thinking about winning, not about love, but winning. And that should have been her clue as a mother to turn tail, walk away. Because he's here for
Yeah.
the game and I'm here for love. So we are not compatible. She should have went away and said, let me go talk to somebody else now. Because this man ain't here. But she let that fly. And the problem is she saw the signs and she let stuff fly, and that's on her. He saw the signs and he let stuff fly, and that's on him. And now we have to sit here and try to manipulate as voters, like somebody can get them out of here. How do we vote to make sure this breaks up? And
Well,
then
as
we do
long as the
break.
fucking as long as the fucking Islanders are doing shit, we're not going to
We
be
ain't.
able to.
That's what I said. We can't save people who
Yeah.
don't want to be saved. I said it
But I'm
before.
like, I'm so curious. Well, I guess like we'll touch it when we touch it, but like even just how the Islanders voted. That's why I'm like, I need to see an episode tonight, just because I can't wait to see like what their thought process was in terms
I
of
need
like,
to know.
yeah, especially
Oh,
like I don't know when we want to talk about that moment because I feel like there's like so much of the episode that
okay.
we are
Let's
just
get
Let's
the begin. Let's get
so
the beginning part out of the way because we had the day and conversations. Hood is still crying at night,
Mhm.
and everybody's still like, she's still
Yeah.
crying. Jeremiah, whatever. Everybody go about their day, and they're like, we feel the cloud over
Mm.
the villa. We feel the cloud.
Yeah.
They make breakfast. Taylor makes her breakfast because he didn't know if Jeremiah's going to make her breakfast, but Jeremiah does make her breakfast, and
Yeah.
now she's has these two plates. Uh, we s- Jeremiah tries to talk to her
Mm.
as they're working out, and I'm like, this man don't want to be saved. He really don't want to be saved because we're trying, and he doesn't want it. So if you don't want it, what are we supposed to do
Yeah.
about it? And they're working out, and she's like, "We'll talk later. We'll talk. We'll talk later."
I think he encourages her behavior though.
He does.
Like, because even like in past episodes, when she would do something or she would get jealous or upset, he would just be like, "You're so cute." And then even when she was like being like, "We'll talk later," and like all nonchalant, he's like, "Nonchalant, love that," or whatever. So he encourages that behavior
Mhm.
for her
because
to
he wants
now.
to win.
Well, of course, he gives me Johnny vibes. Very
Yes.
Mm,
Johnny. Like
Yep.
they're just here to play. They know, like this is they know what they look like, right?
mhm.
They know what they look like, and they know what kind of privilege that gets them, so that
Yep.
they can like
Yep.
fuck around and people will keep giving them multiple chances. So I feel like it's the energy is very similar just based off of
Yeah.
like them playing the game. They want that 100,000. And it's not even just that, it's because once you get onto a show like this, you get this platform. And we could see especially what it's done for
Yeah.
season 6 with PPG. They're like, I think Leah was the first one to hit 1 million followers, and now
Mhm.
she's like well over.
Yeah.
Now PPG has their spin-off show, which is the first time it's ever been done for any of the Love Island cast. And that's ultimately like as a reality contestant, what you would kind of want is to be brought back for Love Island All Stars or that
Yeah.
crossover. Like I
Love
think,
Island
And
ooh,
and
Games.
hey, speaking of Johnny, he just finished filming
House
House
of
of Villains.
Villains.
So like
Mhm.
even
exactly.
Johnny's gotten, the boost from it. I don't think
Yeah,
Jeremiah is gonna get the boost from it, but he's certainly trying.
I
yeah,
mean, it's still so early, and Jeremiah could still see this. This is what bothers me because we are just 2 weeks in,
mm,
and as much as I hate to say it, Jeremiah can get a redemption arc just like that because of
He
what you said,
could.
Tiffany. He's that pretty privileged. That the man
yeah,
is fine. He knows
Yeah.
he's fine. He knows he's good looking. He can get a redemption arc on this show. I think they're trying to make Huda the villain, and they're
mm,
trying to make Jeremiah not. And so they could produce it where he gets the redemption arc, and we can see Jeremiah making it to the end. I don't think he's going to win because America never forgets. I tell you that.
yeah,
That's what we don't do. But I think they can try. We
Yeah.
see who their favorites are in production.
yeah,
We see who their
yeah,
favorites are, and we see who they're trying to push. And it is what it is. I just I'm nervous, but I don't think we still need a fourth place. So if Jeremiah is there, we need a fourth place, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we
Hard.
see we see everybody's still talking, and they're trying to figure out the day, blah blah blah. But it was really just a lot of Jeremiah Hooder is toxic. Jeremiah Hooder is
yeah,
toxic. Jeremiah Hooder is toxic. But nobody wants to say anything. So they're like, well,
yeah.
we'll just sit and we'll talk and we'll hang out and we'll figure out blah blah blah. We do see a conversation with Austin and Amaya again for the first time after a while. They talk. I'm like, good, get away from Shelly. Um, talk to
Do you
Amaya.
ship them,
I
Logan?
do.
Amaya,
I
Amaya,
have for a minute. I have
I
for a
Interesting.
minute.
I
I have
ship.
liked
I
the
don't
two
ship
of them
Austin.
together. I have
Mhm.
for a minute together. I don't love Austin
Mm,
particularly, but I like the two of them together. I've liked them for a minute together. I just think their energies are really compatible. Um,
ah,
I wanted Austin to get out of this triangle, frankly, because we've seen for the hottest of minutes that Shelley is just like so far in with Ace at this
Yeah.
point that she's unsavable. So, you know, at this point, and hey, we saw it in this episode. So, I wanted Austin to just find another connection. I wanted Amaya to find a connection. And I do like the two of them together. And I think their energies do work. So I like them together. I do.
I think it's game.
On
I
Amaya's
don't,
part.
I think it's game as well. I'm not opposed to it
Yeah.
because I really like Amaya. And if she can find a better connection moving forward, I'm not opposed to that because anything is better than Austin, frankly.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. Put them together. Great. Fine. Love that they're together because it's easier to vote them both off later. And
Mm.
I'm okay with that.
You
I
don't
just
like
need
both of them?
I like Amaya more than I like Austin, but because
Yeah.
I don't like Austin for a bevy of reasons.
Right.
And I think he's funny on the show, but baby, I
Mm.
don't forget either. I
Yeah.
never forget. I
Mm.
will
Yeah.
never forget who you are.
Mm. Mm.
Your
Yeah.
soul is ugly, and I will never forget. So you will never ever get your tens from me. You will never
Yeah.
come. I'm never going to want you to be happy in any relationship.
Yes.
I want you off
Agreed.
my screen. Um, off.
I agree with
Off.
that. I
We
agree
got one
wholeheartedly.
off. We got one off. We got two off. One to go. We gotta get them all out of
Yeah.
here.
I agree completely. If he, for right now, is going to keep my girl Amaya safe, then I am okay with that for now.
I
I
mean,
will say his character on this show has been entertaining, and I am okay with that. If he's going to keep my girl safe for right now, I want her to find a better connection. So, you know, she's safe. She was not up for,
Nope.
you know, she was
Nope.
not vulnerable tonight, and I am okay with that.
With that too. And but if we get Jeremiah Huda out of there and they stay together, they the next people on the hit list. So I hope she figures out how to get away from him as soon as possible. Because if she wait too long and she stick around with him, she going out the door with him.
That's
So,
fine.
Yeah.
but
I
anyway,
agree.
but yeah, we see them talk. I agree with you on this. I think they matched each other's freak. So I'm okay with them,
Yeah.
being together
For
or
right
whatever.
now,
For now,
I'm okay
for
with it.
now, for now. But I want
Mm.
her to find somebody else. Like Casa
Yeah.
happens and she gets somebody in Casa and they get on up.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we get them on out of here and that'd be great. We see a little cute conversation with Shelly and Austin and Ace. They have their little cute moment. And look here. As much as I don't love Ace, I like Ace. I like
Yeah.
Ace on this show. I
Mm.
like Ace for what he brings. And unfortunately, I like Ace for Shelly for now.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't think Shelly's man is in this villa right now. I think he's coming in Casa or later.
I still don't think
I still
Shelly's
don't
man is
think
in this
Shelly's man
villa.
is in this villa. I think somebody will
Because
come in,
I think
hopefully.
Shelly's woman is gonna come into this villa
Yeah.
still.
That was gonna
Oh,
be my question because Shelly is open to
yes.
dating both.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I'm curious to see, like, I think we saw it on Love Island Games where we had
Games.
that happen. So I
Hmm.
wonder if that would happen for Shelly as well.
I mean, Sierra's right there. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw it in 4K. Sierra's
Yeah.
right there.
I
And
would
so
love
I'm
that.
I'm just like, yo, stop playing games. But if it happens, great. If it
I would love
doesn't,
to see it.
I would love
Yeah.
to see it myself. It would be so great if it did. But, I don't think Shelly's person is or Shelly's man is in that villa right now. If her man is going to ever be in the
I
Yeah.
villa.
and I would really love to see Ace get truly tested. I don't think
Mm.
Austin was enough of a test.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Because
I
he
need
never
somebody.
really
No, he
he
didn't
never
do
really
anything.
put in the work. He never
No.
really
Yeah.
put in the work. I want to see Ace get really
Yeah.
tested.
Yes, I need a man to
Like,
come in and just sweep Shelly off her feet, do the dates, make her breakfast,
Yeah.
take her on things. They go on a date, have the conversations that Shelly likes, and have a sweating. I need
Mm.
because he did that with her when he picked Amaya over her when he didn't
Yeah.
have no reason to do that. And I needed Shelly to make him work a little bit harder, and she didn't do that. So I need somebody to come in and make Ace
Yeah.
sweat.
I
Make
think as
Ace
soon as
sweat.
like Casa happens, I mean, it's still early for us, but I think
Hmm.
like I don't see any of these men staying loyal to their
Oh,
couples once Casa happens.
oh
I just
I
don't
no.
see
see
it.
I see one I see one of them.
Is
You
it
see
Pepe?
Taylor?
Oh, Taylor.
No, it's Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this week, this episode showed me Taylor actually does like Alondria more
Yeah.
than he had
Yes.
been putting on. And I'm
Mm,
happy about that because at first I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't believe it. I don't think you do. I think you're here for playing a game. I look all the rumors and the scourings of the social medias. I was like, baby, you're not
Yeah.
making this believable for me. And so I don't
yeah.
know if I trust you to take care of my girl Alendria.
Well, and the other rumors, like there's more rumors surfacing that he's got a girl back home.
Well,
Like
that was part of the rumor.
they're resurfacing again. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen that.
It's been there. That's never left. He has had a girlfriend and texted right before she came, talking about I'll be back for you when I get back. And so I'm like, Taylor, if you're doing this for TV and you not feeling my
Mm,
girl, I need you to move on, and I will fight you. Like Alandria, that's number one. That's number one
yeah.
for
Yeah.
me. So if you do
Alendria's
anything
always number one.
Yeah.
I don't send hate mail, but if you do something to Olandria, I might send a couple of hate mails. I might send a couple. It might be me sending you some hate mail.
Yeah.
But I don't
But I
know.
think this happens a lot, like with a lot of dating shows, even like Love is Blind, it always comes out because
Yeah.
Yes.
I know like when you go in through like when you apply for this process for reality TV, it does take a few months to get through the
Hmm.
process. And
Yes.
life still,
Still happens.
still happens. And
Yeah.
for some people, it's like you get into a relationship, or maybe they're not fully dating, but they're getting to know each other outside. And then they're like, hey, this opportunity has come up. I need
Yeah.
to pursue that because you also don't know, will I find my person in the villa? Like, it would
Yeah.
be a shame to pass up on something like that.
Hmm.
I
Absolutely.
find like what I mean, I think something that I don't really respect is those text messages between Taylor and that girl leaked, but the only people who would have access to those text messages would be Taylor and that
And that
girl.
girl,
And he doesn't have his phone right now. So she leaked it for a
she did.
reason,
Yeah,
and
clout.
that gives clout, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, okay, so they're doing it now. You knew he was going, or if she didn't know, whatever, because I know some people like they just ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you're now airing your private messages with this person,
Yeah.
and it just is going to draw attention. But then at the same time, I've seen other videos where people are claiming like, oh, I dated so and so, and it's like, but
Yep.
you didn't, because you can easily find this information about them online when you're like going in through your social media dive and start
Yeah.
making these narratives. And then as like social media viewers and like every fans of the show, you're going to say, oh my god, this happened. But then Taylor's not there to defend himself as like, I don't know this girl, or like, I'm not saying it didn't happen, it's just a possible
Right.
scenario. But like they're not there to defend themselves because they don't know what's going on in the real world outside.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just think it's like messy.
First, we don't care. Honestly, I don't care if he was talking to a girl right before,
Mm,
because honestly, like you said, when they applied or started this process, it was months ago, and then they
yeah,
finally got, and they had to continue life, and they had to live. If he had this girl outside and they met and they talked and they had a steady relationship, what if he goes in there and be like, that's not the relationship for me. This is the relationship for me. This is the girl I want to be with, because now
Mhm.
I have a deeper connection with
mm,
this person and I want to continue to explore it. I'm sure afterwards you were like, because everybody has a past. Everybody has something that was going on before they got into this
yeah,
villa. So
yeah,
it's like we can't be judging and like people, Hudda's baby daddy coming online,
yeah,
Jeremiah's friends coming online, and all of these people coming online. We don't care. Let
yeah,
us figure all that out after they get out the villa, and then once they get out the villa, everything will shuffle around and be where it's supposed to be. And if these people are supposed to be together, they will be together. If not,
yeah,
they won't, and we'll be moving on to the next season anyway.
Yeah.
So it
yeah,
doesn't
I'm
really matter.
I'm always just a little bit wary of people that are going to come on here and like expose things for clout,
Mm-hmm.
a la the Kendall situation from last season. Like, I still
Mm-hmm.
Right.
feel so bad for him when that
Mm-hmm.
happened. And so I'm always just like, okay, you're bringing up things, whatever, whatever, whatever.
Or
But I'm always like, okay, I always side on the side of the Islander, always, because
Mm.
innocent until proven guilty. Like,
Yeah.
in
mm-hmm.
these situations, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, you can go expose someone, this, that, and the third. But it's like, okay, that's such a low blow ultimately, because you know they're in this villa without their actual phones.
Mm.
You know they can't actively defend themselves until they get dumped or they're leaving the island. Like, that's so fucked.
Yeah.
It's really
Like, for
ridiculous.
what fucking reason?
Yeah.
Why?
Like y'all are that desperate for 15 seconds of
Yeah.
fame.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
y'all can do better.
It's
But
Like,
it's like
ridiculous.
there's
it
no
doesn't
fucking
doesn't
reason.
gain them anything either. I think like all it does is like it's gonna get you that viral video and then what? Like that's it.
Right.
There's nothing that is gonna come out of it, whereas you're now damaging someone's life. Like, like
Yeah.
the Kendall situation, like that is a
Yeah.
whole private
Yeah.
situation that he sent those messages to whoever, and now it's one affected his relationship with what's her face,
Nicole.
teeth, Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
Nicole.
and then
Teeth.
Teeth. Stop.
and then
Tiffany. Oh.
like it's
Mm-hmm.
affected that relationship, and then now it
Right.
affected the way that everybody looks at Kendall,
Yeah.
and like eh, I feel gross about that because it's like we don't know who it starts speculations of
Right.
like
Mhm.
his private life, and I if he is gay or if he is open to dating, whatever, it's like you made
Okay.
that decision to pull him out of whatever privacy he had. Maybe he wasn't
Right.
hiding it, maybe he was, but like you made that decision for him on such a public platform.
Right.
And these things will never, like, once it's on the internet, they unfortunately never go away.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
get them scrubbed, but someone has them somewhere, Like, I just find it's so tacky on the person who posts it.
They're very tacky. Very
Yeah.
tacky. Let's continue because we do see just it's a lot. Who else talked? Jalen pulled Alandria for a minute, but it was like,
Yeah.
A
why?
minute.
Like, why? Why
Literally
did
a
you pull her
minute.
just to ask her how she like? I don't know.
I felt
Peppy and
bad for him.
I felt bad for Jalen too because I feel like he
Mm,
was very much out of his depth on this
yeah.
show, and it's like, yeah, this isn't for you.
Yeah.
Peppy and Hannah.
The
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the only other real conversation was that Pepe and Hannah conversation.
Yeah.
Peppy and Hannah have it, but no, it was another conversation because Iris and Jeremiah had a conversation, and
Yeah.
Iris was letting him know that, hey, I know, because everybody felt bad for Iris. Everybody feels bad for
Mm,
Iris. I still feel bad for Iris. I'm like, girl, we feel bad. We
Iris
put you in
girl
this situation.
yeah.
We're
again,
sorry.
baby.
We're
I'm so
sorry.
sorry, girl.
We put you in this situation. I get it.
Yeah.
But Iris was like, hey, Jeremiah, I just want you to know that I am here for you to, I get it. Um, this is crazy, but I just want you to know that I'm here if you need to talk or whatever. And Jeremiah was like, I really appreciate that. Thank you for checking up on me. Not a lot of people he felt has checked up on him. And
Mm.
so, but I don't know if that was the case. I feel like he had a lot of people checking on
Yeah, he had like
me
all the
personally.
boys were on him. Like, I don't really
I don't know
buy
what he
that.
meant. Right. I don't think people did not check on Jeremiah, but
Yeah.
how we play when we feel like,
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
in the victim and but yeah, so he felt so they talk or whatever. To the big thing, because Jeremiah does pull Huda again and they have another conversation. And uh, Jeremiah finally is like, listen, I apologize for not being there for you.
Mm,
I'm sorry that I wasn't there. I wasn't in the right space to be there for you, and I apologize. I feel like I come to a revelation. I
mm,
understand what went wrong between us. We jumped into this relationship and this intimacy so fast. We skipped over being friends. So I want to be friends. I wish we could start over and we can be friends. And Huda says, I don't think I can be friends with you.
mm,
And I was like, okay, fair, but a little dramatic. You could still
mm.
be friends. You just met this man 2 weeks ago. You could still be
Yeah.
friends for somebody you met 2 weeks ago. But she's like, I don't think we could do that. you broke my heart.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And I just feel like we should be able to just start over and get
Mm,
to this point where we could build off of the friendship and whatever.
yeah.
And Huda's like, well, I think you're just saying all this stuff to make me like you again.
Mm,
And Jeremiah's like, I don't want to make you like me. And baby, if
yeah.
that triggered it all. She was like, what do you mean you don't want me to
Yeah.
like you? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, girl,
I think the thing is, and it's shown a couple times. I think there was like, Huda hears what she wants to hear.
all the time.
And
All the
all the time,
time.
and we've seen it a couple times. Like there was when she was eavesdropping on them, I can't remember what she said exactly, but she like quoted it wrong, and I
Yeah.
understand like a misquote, but
Hmm.
then it's the narrative
It's the
behind
story.
it
Oh, yeah.
that is distorted. And like, because even with him saying like, I don't want to make you like me, it was more so him being like, I don't
I
want to
don't
like
make
to
you
make
like,
you like
I
me.
want you to want me and want you to
Yes,
like me.
yes, out of your own like free will, not I don't want to like force you to like me.
Force.
I think it's more so what he
That's
was
what he
saying.
meant. That's what he said.
But she
It
took
is
it as, sorry, go ahead.
it is textbook manipulation.
Yeah.
It is
God.
textbook manipulation. I cannot stand this woman. I I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I can't even yell about this woman. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to speak in anything other than a fucking monotone right now because I'm just tired. Tiff, you said it. She hears what she wants to
Yeah.
hear and then misquotes it and then gaslights people into and then gaslights all the women into, because they weren't there, so they don't know exactly what was said. And
Yeah.
then all of them are hearing the
Her side.
misquoting
Mm.
of what she's saying he said. So they all think that he's this horrible person when in reality, in this scenario, did he say anything wrong? No, he literally apologized to her and
Yeah.
said that he wants to make things right. And in this scenario, Jeremiah, I don't blame you for getting the fuck out. I
Mm.
do not blame you in the slightest. I'm just tired of her.
Yeah.
She does not need to be there. She shouldn't be there. This is not the environment for her.
Nope.
Girl,
Yeah.
wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. This is about as I can't go any more than this. I am so tired of this woman. I am disgusted by this woman. The manipulation, the
Yeah.
gaslighting is too. I can't anymore.
I just think
She,
like with Huda, there's so like Huda and Jeremiah, there's so much turmoil there that Jeremiah can never do anything right.
done.
Anything that he does will always be wrong, or Huda will find something wrong. Like if he made her
Pancake gate.
pancakes, she'll be
Pancake gate.
like, "Where's the butter on my
What?
pancakes?" You know,
No
like there's no
protein.
winning, right? You know,
No
like she's like,
protein.
"Well, you just made me pancakes. That's it. Everyone's
No
getting pancakes
protein.
and grapes and all this a whole hibachi spread." So it's he's never gonna win because there's just so much.
She
I think
want
turmoil. Like he'll never win. He'll say sorry, and she's like, "But you didn't say sorry enough." You know, like it's just never going to be enough for her.
because she said it out of her own mouth. If
Mhm.
I want a man that's obsessed with me, I want
Yeah,
a man that will do anything I want.
which
And
is
he's like,
actually a Leah quote.
right.
Yep.
That is a Leah quote.
She wants it, but you ain't even doing it right. At least when
Yeah.
Leah wanted a man who was obsessed with her, she actually found him. And she didn't yell at
Yes.
She's
him and treat him
trying
like
she's trying so hard to be Leah, and she is
Yeah.
nothing of the sort.
nothing of the sort. Nothing of
Yeah.
the sort. But like she just only hears what she want to hear. And that's where my issue is with her and the girls, because I feel like the girls are totally being gaslit by her because she's only telling her side of the
Mm.
story, what she wants them to hear, and all they hear is, oh, well, me and Jeremiah's gonna move in together. We were talking about that on our date. We're gonna move in together.
Mm.
We're gonna have this happy family. And Jeremiah never said he wanted to move in with this girl. He
Yeah.
never said
No.
that. He said we
But
can.
we don't know
He,
that.
yes, we. Well, from what we saw in
From
the
what we
edit,
see, we don't know that. He
but
might have said it to her.
that man did not tell her they were gonna move in together. You look from the way Jeremiah was acting about
I don't know. We don't know
24.
that.
I
He
don't
didn't.
know.
It
I'm
didn't
just,
air. This is the
we can
thing.
only
He
go
could
by
have
what we
said
can
it.
go. We can go by what we
Yeah.
saw.
He
From
might
what
have
we saw.
said something along the lines of like, "Oh, like what I want in the future is like a wife, and like I want to live here with her kids." And then Huda being Huda, her, you want to move in with
Tea.
me? Like it could have, like it could
Could
have
have. I
been.
mean, he did say at the date that we could, try it out. We can move to the same city,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
we can live for a little while, and then maybe after a while we can think about moving together, and and
which is
she
natural for
skipped past it.
any
Any
relationship.
relationship, and he said we're moving in together because we're moving in
Yeah.
together next year
She's
as
just
soon as we
so
get out the
fucking
villa. Like,
she's just so fucking delusional.
it's wild. And you know what? Sometimes delusion can be fun, but I
Yeah.
think we got to a point where the delusion went from fun
Yeah.
to exhausting, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now we're at a point where we got to let it go. We can't
Drag queen
continue.
delusion is fun. Huda delusion is bullshit, and I'm tired of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, girl.
It's just crazy. But like, even after all of that, and she went off on him because
Mm,
he didn't want her to, he didn't want to make her like him, and she went off. My girl don't know how to read a room
mm.
because she's snapping. She going off. And she walks right over to the people who were just saying, this relationship is toxic. She need to go. Oh my
She
God.
goes
She
right
goes right over to them.
over
Yeah.
Like,
to them.
it's crazy.
My favorite is
My favorite
Taylor.
is Taylor's like,
Yeah.
he just
Taylor was all of us in this moment, just like,
That was
oh,
he's
great.
like, are
what
y'all
do I
and wait,
do?
my favorite part of that was Taylor. And then slowly but surely Sierra gets up, Nick gets up.
Yeah.
Pepe gets up and he fluffs the pillow and then leaves. And then everybody else who's sitting there stuck is like,
Yeah.
can we leave
Oh
too?
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
are we
Yeah.
stuck? We're
Because like
stuck.
we only see an hour and a half or
Yes.
whatever of their day. This
How
is
long was she
like,
going off?
yeah. Because they fit that clip into like what, 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
And so
We
we
know that
don't
went on 2 3
know.
minutes.
Yeah, that went
That
on
was
for a while. That went on for
that was
2 weeks.
I think she
Like
took
2 actual weeks.
I mean, they spoke in the speak easy for 5 6 hours. They had to, right? Like that
Yeah.
just went on forever. What
Yeah.
I love so much about this is not only are the Islanders voicing how they're tired of it, but Ian Sterling is
Mm,
voicing how much he hates talking about Jeremiah
yeah.
Huda. When that man said, "This is the first time I get to have a say something, start a prompt without saying Jeremiah Huda," I was like,
Yeah. I
Ian
felt like
is
the
sick of
whole
it.
episode was them. I was like, okay, like I get it. I'm ready
But
for another clip. As much as like this is great television, I'm
yeah,
ready for I need a
ready for
break.
I need
something
something
I need a
else.
break. Yeah.
When
I need
Ian
some.
was like, oh, they've been fighting for so long, producers had to change over their battery packs. I was
The
like,
Yeah.
cameraman had to go get snacks.
I
I
Yeah.
took a
A
nap.
washroom
I
break.
I
laughed.
fell the fuck
I
out.
laughed so
Thank God
hard.
I
Yeah.
was laying down in my bed. I fell the fuck out. I'm
I
so
love Ian Sterling.
happy. I'm so happy that Peacock is paying Ian Sterling enough money
Yeah.
to where he's only doing Love Island USA now after this season. Like,
Love
thank
it.
you,
Thank you,
Peacock.
because
Thank
we
you,
did not want to lose.
Peacock. I
We
love
did not want to
him.
lose Ian
Yeah.
Sterling. He is the voice.
No.
My one
But
friend was like, "Oh, like, do we need the commentary from Ian?" And I was like, "Yes, you
Yes.
do.
yes,
You absolutely
yes,
do."
we absolutely
He
do.
Because it
is
gives
the
that
best
comedic
part of Love
break. Like it,
Island.
yeah, you
He is
need
the
it.
best part of Love Island,
Because
period.
because especially during these moments where everything is so intense,
Yeah,
we need that comedic
yeah,
moment to go. That was funny. You're
yeah.
wild,
You need a
Ian. Like
break. You need a
we
break.
do.
Yeah,
But that night, we see everybody getting dressed, and like we said, I think we mentioned it earlier when Clara saw Jeremiah pull out
yeah,
Iris's chair because Iris was about to fall and he
yeah.
didn't want her to fall. He helped her in the chair. He had already made the decision that he was going to when she comes down the stairs, he was going to walk her to the table like
Mm,
all couples do when they're in a couple. And she was
yeah,
upset about that. And then when he put her in helped her in the chair, that was it. She broke off. She cried. We talked
She
about it.
yeah,
crashes out
yeah.
because Iris almost fell.
Fall. Yeah. and Jeremiah was being a gentleman
This
because he was
woman,
right
I'm
Yeah.
so
there.
sorry. This is not the environment for this woman. They
Mm,
need, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Production, you all need to step in at this point. I'm
yeah.
They
sorry.
have. That's why they stepped in, and this is what they wanted. This is what they have
Yeah.
produced.
I
No,
feel
They want to
production
see
bad
the
needs to
because
crash
step in.
out.
Production needs to step in and remove her. I'm sorry. Like, she
yeah.
is not a stable human. Production needs to remove her from the. I'm
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry.
I know what
Like,
you
it has
mean.
come to the point. Production needs to remove her. She does
Yeah.
not need to be in this villa anymore. Like, she is not stable.
Mm,
She should not be in this villa anymore. If she's crashing out over someone falling
yeah.
and Jeremiah helping her, that woman is not stable. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I feel bad because like you have to get to a certain point mentally to be
Hmm.
that triggered and like
Hmm.
it's just sad because I think it's a mix of so many things. Like, when we filmed Drag Race, I was crying every day because I didn't
Yeah.
have my phone, I didn't have my support system. And it's like things that you don't think about, but it's
Hmm.
like then you bring up like your traumas and stuff like that. So it's like I don't know how Love Island works, right? But it's like
Yeah.
obviously this is triggering something in her because
100%.
especially
Yeah.
there was I think a scene where Huda and Jeremiah are like in bed and they're like pillow talking or whatever, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Are you going to leave me?" So there is that
Yeah.
abandonment
She
issue
has that.
there.
Yes.
So she's
100%.
her watching her Jeremiah leave with essentially Iris. It could have been anyone
Yeah.
Hmm.
that triggers that for her. So I think there's so many other feelings that are causing her to feel this. So she's like at a
Absolutely.
breaking point. So I feel really, really bad.
I do too.
Like it's a mix of so many things. And like, what is she can't, her support system isn't there.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
here. I really feel bad for her mental state that she is dealing with right now. And I
Mm,
want, like, they have psychiatrists, they have therapists on site. Like, I need them to do more with that. I
mm,
need
Yes.
her to be able to go talk to them more because as much as she has her trauma, and I get that, I understand that, it is unfair for you to project your trauma on everybody in that
mm,
villa because
Yeah.
everybody has trauma.
yeah.
Everybody has things they have to deal
Yeah.
with, and we can't babysit your trauma because what about my trauma? What if your
Yeah.
trauma is triggering my trauma because
Mm,
you feel abandoned and you have abandonment issues? What if I have trauma where people are too dependent on me?
Yeah.
And what
mm,
if Jeremiah's is like, I don't like people so dependent on me that I can't breathe or I can't even
yeah.
move without you. So we can't
Yeah.
prioritize one person's trauma over anybody else's trauma. And I don't know what everybody's trauma is, but we all have them.
Mm.
We all
Yeah.
have them. And
Because
I need
Jeremiah
her.
shuts down too. Like he shut
And that
down. He
is
couldn't
why he
even.
shut. That's why he shut
Yeah.
down after the America's recoupling because
Mm,
and he's been doing it all season. Like when he gets into a situation where it's precarious for him, he shuts down, and she
mm,
knows that because she's called him out on it several times. So when he
mm,
did do it, I'm like, you should have expected him to do that because he
mm.
always does that. But you're mad because he did what he normally does. So I'm like,
Yeah.
And
it's
Yeah.
she's either unwilling to recognize the fact that he does that, or she's too selfish to realize
Mm,
that, or she is too self-absorbed in her own trauma currently that she has just blinders on and
yeah.
she can't realize what is going on around her.
Yeah.
And I think it's a combination of all of
all
those
three.
things.
Yep.
Mm,
I think
Hmm.
there's a severe dose of narcissism going on with Huda, and I'll just be 100% honest with that. Having come out of a recent relationship with a narcissist, I see the tendencies. I see it clear as fucking day.
I don't want
mm,
to
But
diagnose anybody because I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to
I'm
diagnose
not
anybody.
diagnosing anyone. I'm not diagnosing anyone specifically. I'm not here to do that either. Um, I just want her to get the help that she needs because it's clear that there are
yeah.
things going on she has not processed, and
Hmm.
ultimately, I feel for her.
Mm,
What she is going through is not okay, and at this point, I feel like production should step in.
yeah.
Hmm. I do agree. But we will move because honestly, there's nothing else that happened after that until we get to the recoupling because Ariana comes in looking fabulous, by the
Yeah.
way. But I will say this, Ariana, I ain't like the hair. I ain't like the
Yeah.
hair. I thought the hair
Hmm.
made her look a little matronly. And I'm like, Ariana's a smoking hot woman.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the
Oh.
I'm not a fan of the updo to do. But that dress, gorge. She looks
Is
stunning.
this not
Oh my god.
the updo?
Do,
Shout out Chad Michaels. Love Chad Michaels.
Her body is like phenomenal. I was like,
Her body's
wow.
tea.
Tea.
Yeah.
I love that this is basically the same dress from the other night, but a
Yeah, but
slightly different
slightly different.
silhouette.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
this dress, this is what I wanted the dress from the other night to be, Lana.
Mm,
Because I didn't love the dress from the other night.
I loved it.
I didn't love it
Mhm.
particularly. Do you remember that dress, Tiff?
no, I'm
The
literally like, I was too
The
focused
maroon.
on.
the
The
maroon
maroon.
and black with that cutout on the hip.
I'm gonna have to look at it. I literally, because the thing is, like,
Okay.
I think I was too focused on
Yes.
the recoupling to be like looking at
Yeah.
Ariana's outfit. But this one is burned into my brain because I was like, her body was so like
Sickening.
that's burned into my brain. But the other one
Yeah.
before, I don't think. Yeah,
Ari must have a new stylist this season
yeah,
I
because
don't
like
yeah, they
not that the
kill her.
season not that the season 6 looks were bad by any means of the
yeah,
They were
imagination,
good.
but she's
yeah.
looking sickening this
She
season.
looks
I'm
Oh,
so
loving I'm
good.
loving
Yeah,
the
I
look.
mean, I think the body got together because of course she was doing Chicago, and so
mm,
Yes.
she'd been working out, she on Broadway and everything, so she got her body
Oh
together
my
for
god.
Broadway.
Can we, speaking of Broadway, can we say, because hey, Drag Race connection. Congratulations, Jinxie.
ooh,
In
yay! I just saw that.
O'Mary. Yeah,
Oh,
congrats. She's doing O'Mary for like a month and a half. So congrats,
good,
Jinxie.
good on
I
that.
know this
Good
isn't
on
just
her.
the drag channel, but congrats, girl.
But yeah,
Honestly, it is now. I'm here, so it's become a drag channel.
it's the drag
Correct.
So,
channel.
Yeah.
Sure,
It's the
sure.
crossover. But yeah,
It's a
sorry,
yeah,
back
crossover,
to
but
Love
yeah.
Island.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, that's why her body is just sickening, and she's been
Agreed,
doing,
yeah.
But we do have a recoupling happen, but it's not like any other recoupling we have ever had
yeah,
before on Love Island, and so I'm like,
Unique and
okay,
different.
unique and different. Thank you, Lana Jarrett. It's
Thank you,
unique and different
Lana.
for it's unique and different for this show. So they have these doors all set up, and the girls are going to go and stand behind their door, and the men are going to go and stand in front of the door of the girl they want to couple up with. Now, the
mm,
girls were able to send in their text of who they want the door to unlock for, and they can only send in one name. And so, if that boy comes to your door and unlocks your door, you are a couple. And if not, you are single and vulnerable. And I was like, oh, I watched this because at first, before I watched this, I was like, "Oh Lord, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous." When I saw
yeah.
this, I was like, "Oh, I know what's about to happen. I know
Mm,
what's going to happen, and I know who should be vulnerable. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see."
yeah.
So,
I
you were gonna
loved
say,
this.
"I
I
love this."
loved this. I think this was such a fun way to do it.
Mm,
I love that Love Island USA is doing unique and different things with their recoupling. I like that, they said at the start of the season we were going to do some twists, some cute little
Hmm.
twists, and we're getting some cute little twists here. I think, doing some different things with recouplings this season, I'm not too mad at it. I
yeah.
thought, the prop doors were cute.
Hmm.
I like the way that they did this. I don't need it for every recoupling, and I'm glad we haven't had it for every recoupling, but I thought this was a cute little add-on.
It's fresh, I think. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
it's fresh, it's new, it's cute.
Hmm.
I liked it,
What
but
I want to know though is like just the back. I love the back end behind the cameras thing. So like, were the girls actually like locking the doors because they would have to pause camera to be like, okay, pause, like lock your doors, or is it
I think
triggered by production?
I think it's triggered by production. I
It
think it
has
was
to
a
be.
mag
It was probably triggered by production.
because
Yeah.
Okay.
they had to send in the text so
Yeah.
production will know who to
Mm,
unlock the
mm,
door for. So I think it was the button that they had in production, like, okay,
yeah.
Yeah, it
this
was
door
probably like
unlock
an
it for this person.
automatic. It was probably an automatic lock, and then
Okay.
when the boy, it might
Yeah.
have been motion triggered. Actually,
Well, I mean, that would
Um,
make sense because if it was motion triggered, it would unlock for
Yeah.
anybody who
no, no,
walks
no,
over that
no.
way.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think it
Because
was
all
a
the girls
definitely
were also
production
like
line.
standing to
Standing
the
off to the
side.
side.
So
So
I'm like, there's
oh
something
yeah,
there.
I think it
yeah.
was just I think production had to like lock it with each thing. They had a button to push for
Mm,
Yeah.
each
yeah.
door.
There's actually
And
just a
because it was light,
producer
right producer like
ducked down.
ducks
A
down and we
producer's
don't
just
see it.
ducked down at the handle. That's why the
Right.
girls are
There
all
was
like,
something.
But the
yeah,
locks, I think the cameraman was over there with the
yeah, there
girls.
has to be
But
something.
It
Yeah.
could
the
have
locks,
been.
but the
Yeah.
locks, I think what they had the lights. So I think the lights and the locks were all
Mm.
Yeah.
triggered into one. So, but
Regardless, it was cute as
regardless, it
fuck and
was
I loved
cute.
Yeah.
It
I
was
it.
loved
very
it.
cute. It was very
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
But they started with the most predictable. We
Yeah.
all knew that Nick was going
Yeah.
to pick Sierra. Duh. Like,
Yeah.
duh. We knew that.
Yeah.
They're
I
I
literally was
they're
like,
very
just go.
comfortable. Right.
Just
They're
go.
very
Yeah.
comfortable together, and I need a shakeup to happen very soon with them because
Yeah.
they're starting to
I
get too
need
comfortable.
I need him to lock in with my girl because Sierra is still my girl. I really like
Yeah.
Sierra. I really, really enjoy her. I either need her to find a better connection or I need him to lock the fuck in with her and stop worrying about Hada and Jeremiah.
I think his head will churn.
Yeah, oh, he's a head turner. He's a
His head will turn. He's not in it.
Rather her head
Yeah.
turn, frankly,
I
before
would
his.
rather her head turn, and I want him to get like a little upset because there's nothing I love more than like a man getting upset.
Yeah.
So like I need that to happen, but I could see him playing her. Like I could just see it.
I could see them being locked in until Casa, and I could see
Yeah.
her coming back from Casa with somebody.
I can see both of them
Mm.
coming back from some
I can see
Casa
them
with
both.
somebody.
Yeah, I can see
I
them
can see them
both.
both coming back from
I
somebody
don't
with Casa.
trust Nick. I
I
just
don't
don't
trust Nick
trust
at
him.
all. But here's my thing, and I know people are gonna be like, let it go. I still want Nick to look at Alandria. I still think there's something going on with Nick and Alandria. The Nick and Alandria high.
I don't know. I don't think it's
I
gonna.
don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's
Hey,
dead.
Lana has been,
I think it's
Tiff, I
dead.
don't know if you know, but Lana has been on the Nick and Alandria train since
It will
like
not
day
take
3.
flight.
It's
That
not gonna
flight is
take.
not taking off.
Here it is. Here it
They're
is.
on tarmac the
Here,
whole way.
here it
There's
is.
nothing.
Here it is. Here it is. It might not take flight in the villa, but I feel like Nick is gonna leave this villa and be like, you know what? I fumbled the bag on Alandria, and I'm gonna call it.
Oh
I'm
my!
gonna
Ooh,
I
okay.
after the
We'll
villa. I don't
see.
know. We'll see.
We'll
It's just
see.
something.
When they do,
The way that man look at Alandria, it says everything. He does not look at Sierra
Yeah.
the way he look at Alandria.
But
okay.
the
So I'm
way
just like,
everyone looks at Alandria, though,
because
like the way
Alandria is
anyone looks at,
tea.
like,
As they
Yeah,
should. The
I
way
want to
I'm
say.
looking at Alandria. Like,
I
come
want
on
to, yeah,
yeah,
now.
okay, I'm looking at Olandria. And I'm like,
yeah,
here's the thing. Everybody know. Everybody in that villa is obsessed with Olandria. We know.
yeah,
We all know, and I get it. I get it.
yeah,
But I think these people are together to Casa, and I think they both bring somebody back. But
yeah. I could see that.
Nick's heads will turn as soon as another bombshell come in because he was looking at Iris until Iris made her name
Yeah,
to Ace, and then he looking at he looks at everybody. So
he
I
looks at
like Nick,
everyone. Yeah.
but and then our next couple who was duh, it was Pepe and Hannah. It was just like duh.
This photo makes them look so small.
The photo is not the photo. Both of their photos not the best because
Yeah,
Hannah looks so big and boxy, and she's not, and
yeah,
Pepe looks so small and
yeah.
stout, and he is
He looks
not.
tiny.
He looks very tiny. These are not good pictures. Like I don't
Yeah.
like these pictures at all for either of them.
Especially because we were served such great promo photos this season from Love Island UK too.
Oh my god,
Like,
good.
Love Island
Season
UK, obviously they're in series 12, so like they know
They
how to do
know.
good promo
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah, this was not it.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they-
not worried. Also, knowing some new tea about Hannah, good tea, very good tea. Yeah, I ain't gonna be too worried about her wanting anything to do with Charlie outside of the villa. So we good, don't worry.
What tea? I don't know it.
Oh, she's very pro-Palestine. She's
Okay,
she's a
work.
good one. She's a good one. So we
Yeah.
good. We good with Miss Hannah.
I mean, this is fine. I do. I this is another couple who I feel can make it to Casa, and then once
Mm.
Casa hits, they are both bringing somebody back. They're not coming back
Yeah.
together.
I see that. I definitely see that. I like this couple for right now.
Yeah, me too.
If something better comes in for both, I like both of them. that's where I'm
Yes.
at right now with both of them. I really Hannah's my hometown girl now, and ever since I learned that, I'm like, okay, I want whatever is best for Hannah.
Yeah.
So, and Sierra's from Arizona as well, so I'm like, whatever is best for both of them, I want whatever is best for both of them. So,
I'm very
yeah.
team Pepe and Tiffany, so I think Hannah can.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
very team Pepe
word.
and Tiffany as well.
I
Very
Actually,
work
Pepe and
that.
Tiffany.
I like that. I like
I
that.
like that as well.
Thank you,
But
thank you.
Certainly, yes.
but our next couple that got together was one of the surprises of the night, but not to nobody. It was
Mm,
Austin and Amaya. Austin, you can get your ones because as long as you finally got yourself out of a triangle, because it wasn't happening for you anyway, and you didn't know how to deal
yeah,
with it. You don't know what to do with a woman like Shelly anyway, so you can go.
yeah,
You can go because you tried. You didn't try anything. You didn't do anything. You didn't
yeah.
try. You didn't make any effort to do anything. So go with someone who appreciates the bare minimum because that is what you're going to give her, and that is what she's going to take. So good.
I
You
feel like
like
she's gonna get
Amaya?
tired really quickly.
She
Like
is. She's not sticking with
yeah,
him.
he can't
This was
handle
to keep her
her.
safe. This is to keep her safe in the house. She needed
Yeah,
someone because she had no connections. She was not getting with Ace. She had no connections. She
yeah.
only had one connection with Austin. Jalen was too hung up on the Landry, so nobody ever got to talk
Mm,
to him. And I don't think they were a match anyway.
yeah.
So she really had nobody else but Austin. But I do think they match each other's freak. So I think they're
Yeah.
fine for now. But as soon as somebody else comes in that Amaya Papaya has a crush on, she's out.
Mm,
She's
yeah,
out.
yeah,
I don't mind
Yeah.
that.
I as a resident of my Papaya Nation stan, girl, find somebody better.
yeah.
Get on that bombshell, whoever he is.
Do you think there's gonna be one coming
Um,
in on Thursday? There has to be.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
There has to
so.
be.
I think we'll
Especially
get.
with us having a single, I think we've got to get
Yeah,
a couple, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
I hope so.
I think we're
yeah,
gonna have maybe a couple of bombshells come in
I
yeah.
would like to
Thursday.
see it. I would like to see it.
And then since Austin has picked Amaya, we saw Ace
Thank
Mm,
God.
finally pick Shelly, but
Thank
did
God.
she had to pick him back. I still want him to just pick her and only him pick her.
mm,
Like she had to pick him first to unlock her door. So
Okay,
I'm still
yes,
annoyed.
that's the
But
terms and
I,
conditions
I
of the
understand, but
recoupling.
I want the
yeah,
recoupling to be where Ace stands there, make a speech to pick Shelly, and Shelly don't have to pick him first. I'm sick of him always playing in her
yeah.
face. But like we said earlier, her man is not in this villa.
Mm,
And I need a bombshell to come in and sweep Shelly off
yeah,
her feet and make a slip. But I am happy for them because finally they've been
yeah,
playing this cat and mouse game for way too.
Thank
And it's only been
God.
2 weeks, and it felt like 2 months.
yeah. I think
This
for now,
season
I
has
like
felt
them
like 3
together.
months.
Yeah, because a lot has happened.
A lot
It's
has
Yeah.
literally
happened.
been 2 weeks.
Two
A
weeks. It
lot
feels
has
like 2 months.
happened.
But
It
yeah,
feels
Yeah.
they're
like
out.
84 years.
For now, I'm full with Ace and
Yeah,
Shelly. I think they're
yeah,
cute. They
Yeah.
had moments where I was sitting there like, "Oh, that's so
yeah.
sweet."
It's cute.
I was smiling like, "Okay, okay, all right."
Yeah,
But I need Shelly to make Ace step up his game a whole lot more than
yeah,
pancakes and ping pong.
yeah,
I need
yeah.
that.
I agree.
I
Pancakes
need
and
that.
ping pong was so cringe. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, I was literally like, this is so gross. I hate it.
I hate it. I hate when they do stuff for a show for the group. Like if you
Yeah,
want to pull me for an intimate moment, make it for me, not for
yeah.
everybody. Stop including your boys. Stop making
That's
it
the
like we're
thing.
making a show for everybody.
and
Ace
honestly,
hasn't done anything. Like he's done everything he's done for Shelly has been with like
A
his
group.
boys behind him. He's never done anything just her.
and
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, and that's why, like, in this episode, I don't like Austin, but that's why I liked Austin and Shelly having that workout moment because
Mm,
it wasn't for the group. At least it was just the two of them doing
yeah.
something for the two of them. Like, I
Mm,
don't love Austin, but at least it was just the two of them doing something for the two of them, and it wasn't a
yeah.
public spectacle.
It
Like,
wasn't, but
I'm
I love
glad
that.
Austin didn't end up with Shelly. Let me make that clear. I am
Mm,
glad that Ace and Shelly are a couple now, but I agree with you. I would like to see Ace doing something that isn't a public spectacle, because it feels like everything Ace is doing is a public spectacle. We've said it the last couple of episodes now. Ace is playing the game of Love Island, and I'm not mad at that, but for Shelley's sake, I need him to play the love side of Love Island instead of just the island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I
And
find that like with every kind of TV like reality TV show, like a competition now, it's turned into a game. Every single one. There's no avoiding that anymore, because it's like with these competitions, at the end of the day, someone is going to win. So it will by default become a game. And I think now more than ever, because there are so many people that come out of like any TV show they're in that's a game, that are doing like big careers and everything like that. It's everyone's thinking, how can I set myself up, not just for this 15 minutes of fame that we have, but for the long run.
Yeah.
So that's what I see them doing.
And I feel like it's okay to do that. I just think we need to find a balance for all of that.
Yeah.
You can play the game. You can try to set yourself up for your 50 minutes, because, baby, capitalize, get that coin, make that money. Ain't nobody mad at that.
100%.
But also find the real relationship and the love. Why can't I have it all? Why can't I have the love? Why can't I have the love, the fame, the 15 minutes of fame or whatever, and set myself up for a career jump to make me do something I should be able to do that with? And then if you doing it with this person who's also on the same show, y'all come out together, y'all power together is so much stronger than you by yourself. So I feel like if you do that and you have a power couple and y'all rise it, we can do it all. I just want Ace to be honest with what he's doing. And I want, because Shelly is my girl. Like I said about Taylor, Ace, I don't send hate mail. But if you do something to mess with my girl, I might send a couple, because I like Shelly in this house and I like Alindra in this house. And, you know, I'm always root for them. But I just feel like you could do both. You could do both. Of it. You can have it all. We've seen it. We saw it last season. You can have it all if you play the game right.
And to your point, exactly, Lana, that's what I was going to bring up. We saw it last season. Janae and Kenny are doing so well right now. Serena and Cordell are doing so well right now. Leah and Miguel are doing so well right now. And all of those relationships were so organic, so free. We're not getting that level of organic relationship right now from someone like Ace. It's only 2 weeks in.
Right.
The
That's what I'm about to
season
say.
is so young. And I'm not going to judge them based off of 2 weeks right now. Now, is Ace giving good television right now?
Absolutely.
Yes. The speech he gave at that recoupling was
good.
everything to me.
Like
good. Right now, he is giving good TV. But what I want from Ace is I want him to lock in. I need him to lock in this couple with Shelley. I need him to lock in this couple. I need him to continue to give good TV, because I do think this is a couple that could develop that kind of organic love story thing, a la something like one of those couples, or some of these couples we've seen from past Love Island USA seasons. I think we could see something like that. But it's still early days, as the Islanders like to say. Anything is possible. I see potential for this couple. I see long-term potential for this couple to do a lot of really, really big things, both in this villa and outside of it. But I need him to lock in and realize how beautiful of a woman and how big of a potential that they have in front of them. If he really thinks that they've got potential, I need Ace to lock in right now.
I agree.
Absolutely. But they're together. Good on them. Even Ariana Maddox wanted them together. She was like, finally.
Finally. You know what I
yeah.
love on the topic of Ariana Maddox? I love that it seems like for the first season since she started hosting, she is finally kind of letting her opinions be known.
She did that
A little
last
bit.
season. I think she did that last season. But I think she did that last season where she was just like, okay, come on. But I think she saved a lot of her opinions for like After Sun. Like she would rip and let it free on After Sun, how she felt about people.
No, 100%.
Who she liked and who she didn't. But she also did do it on the show when it
Yeah.
came to the girls.
Yeah.
She let it be known how much she rides with these girls, and she
Yes.
also let it be known when she was upset with the boys. But I think
Yeah.
now she's doing it earlier in this season than she did
Yes.
last season. I agree.
And I'm gonna put a pin in that comment as well, because there's one other moment, because it was this moment with Ace and Shelley. There's
Hmm.
one other moment in this episode where I was like, oh, I see how Ariana feels about someone in
Mm.
particular. I'm gonna put a
Yeah.
pin in that, and I'm gonna talk about it later. But I think it's very interesting.
But then our next couple was Taylor and Alandria because Jalen stepped up to the door
Mm.
first and the door was locked. And I felt bad, but I knew it was happening. We knew it.
Yeah.
When she came back
Yeah.
from the date and she jumped in Taylor's arms, I was like, yeah, Jalen, you ain't got a
Yeah.
chance, my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't got a chance, my son.
Yeah.
But I was like, but he's sweet. He should be able to just maybe somebody will come in. Maybe Jalen's
Mm.
sweet. Well, I felt bad that the door was
Uh,
locked, but I understood why because Alandra is a slow burn. She's not going to just jump in and out of
Yeah.
relationships, and this is scares me for Casa. I feel like if Taylor comes back with somebody, I don't think Alandria will. Because
yeah.
she does not like to start fresh relationships over
Yeah.
again. When she has put a lot of work and time and energy into the relationship with Taylor, so I'm nervous that Taylor comes back from Casa. If I think they're going to be fine to Casa. They're going to make it to Casa. Taylor
Mm.
goes to Casa. He comes back with somebody. Alendra's not going to have anybody, and I'm gonna be annoyed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully, the relationship that they build will be strong enough to survive a casa on both sides. But I am happy. At first, I was a little annoyed with him because this whole I'm not physically attracted to her and you can't force it. And then now
How?
he's like, I was like, how are you looking at the same woman
Like
we are
how?
all looking at? How are you
Yeah.
not attracted to
Yeah.
physically attracted? I
Yeah.
am a straight woman and I am physically attracted to Alendria.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we know
Hello?
why.
Because she's gorgeous. But we know why he might not be at that
Right.
time. But hopefully, the time that they're spending, he's realizing more and more like, you know what? I actually do like this girl. I actually
Mm.
kind of maybe I didn't expect to like this girl like I like this girl. So maybe I do. And I can appreciate that. Sometimes we might off the rip might not be physically attracted to somebody right off the
Mm.
top. But the more time you spend with them, if you allow yourself to spend that time with them, you're like, I didn't think they were fine before.
Hmm.
But actually,
Yeah.
on top of how pretty they are, their personality only makes them even more pretty and more
Yeah.
hot. And now I'm looking at them a little bit different. Now I'm looking at them
Mm.
because they done,
Mm.
they done did
Hmm.
something, or now they done said something, or they done stimulated my mind a little bit. And now I'm looking at them a little different. Like, oh, he went from
Right.
just cute to ow. So
Oh.
it
Yeah.
happened. So I'm not gonna be so mad at him for not straight away being physically attracted to her.
Yeah.
But if he getting it together,
Mm.
I'm okay with it for now. But Taylor, I got my eye on you.
Yeah.
What y'all think of
Yeah.
Taylor and Alandria?
Well, yes, we knew.
Are
Yeah.
we
That's all I
feeling
gotta
it
say.
though? Are we feeling it though?
I feel like it's they're just a sure shot for me. That's how I feel. Like
Yeah.
it's very like typical. We knew that they were gonna match up, so I'm like I don't really have much else of an opinion for them because like I think I almost feel like I know how their story goes.
Mm,
So it's kind of
Mm,
like I'm not as invested because there's not much for me to like predict or like there's no storyline for me to like hold on to with their connection because
right.
it's just so like they've been together since day one. They're neither of them have really been like challenged. I think um Alondria and Jalen, like we knew that wasn't gonna go anywhere because she's already locked in with Taylor. So I'm
yeah.
just kind of like I don't really have much else because
And
Yeah, I think I agree with Tiff here. Like, I love Alandria, therefore I like this couple.
yeah.
Like, whatever is gonna work for Alandria, okay.
Works for us,
mhm,
Um,
yeah.
right.
pretty much. Like, if she finds a better connection, I support her.
Right.
Whatever works for Alandria works for me. Alandria is my favorite person in this villa. Therefore, whatever works for Alandria works for me. Period.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
totally.
this is my hometown girl right here because she
Yes.
is from Alabama. So I'm like, here,
How far away is Decatur from you?
probably about 2 hours, maybe.
Okay, work.
If no, oh, I don't know. You know what? I'll find out. I don't think it's that far. Maybe about an hour and a half.
Okay,
But
work.
yeah, she went to Tuskegee, and that's like definitely 2 hours for me.
Oh, she went to Tuskegee. Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I love that for her. So yeah, Alana's my girl. Whatever, like you said, whatever works for her works for me.
Mm.
Exactly.
And then the shocker of the
Yeah.
night, the
Gag.
Gagiana of the Gagiana,
I actually
Jeremiah.
like bit my arm when this happened because I and that's never happened. I literally was like biting my arm because I was so gagged, but at the same time, like I could also see it happening.
Yeah, the way
So,
this man walked up to the door,
mm,
because Huda and Iris' door, of course, was right
yeah,
next to
Of
each other.
course.
Of
yeah,
course.
like yeah,
Absolutely. The way he walked to that door, got in the middle, stood in front of Huda's door, and then says, "Swerve over to
yeah,
Iris's." I was like,
yeah,
gag, gag.
yeah. I think even the whole villa, like based off of their reactions, because all the other couples, they're able
Uh-huh.
to see everything that's happening because they're still standing there. They were all gagged.
All of
Like,
them.
because I think it's like gag in the sense where it's like everyone kind of like thought it was a potential like situation scenario that was going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's more so everyone's like, holy shit, because
Oh,
everything
he
that's going to
actually
happen
did it.
He
now.
actually
Yeah,
did it.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
like he actually did it type of deal. Like
yeah,
they didn't think this man was gonna break free. Everybody was like,
yeah.
"Oh, he's stuck and lost in the sauce. He's never going to leave this girl." But
He did.
I have thoughts though because I still don't trust Jeremiah.
That's the thing.
I
I don't think he's done.
I I don't even, it ain't even about Huda anymore. I think he's done with
Mm,
Huda because I think he thinks America does not like Huda. And I
mm,
think Jeremiah is here to win. And he says, well, America put me with Iris, so I'm going to do what America wants and I'm going to stick with Iris because this man wants to win.
mhm.
But what he fails to realize, we didn't stick you with Iris because you and Iris would go walk off into the sunset and win.
Yeah,
We stuck you with Iris because Iris was the only bombshell ever to take you. And we put Iris in a situation where we feel bad for Iris. So we want to protect
yeah,
Iris from this point out. You can go at any
yeah.
particular time. But we only stuck you with Iris because Iris was the only potential bombshell that we could stick you with. And we needed you away from Hunter. But I
Mm.
think Jeremiah is still playing. And he's thinking
I
that
don't
we
think
want him with
he's.
Iris.
I don't think he's done with Huda. I don't think so.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Because I
We
think like we're gonna see this episode, and then there's still gonna be a part of him that's gonna play that game. Like I think this was more so to secure himself another day.
yeah,
Because like this is
probably.
okay. Like if I don't choose, either way he was gonna stay because like
Because both of them chose him.
like either way he was going to stay. But I think it was him also like securing it because if he stays with Huda, that's another day of like turmoil and like
Yeah.
drama. Whereas if he chooses Iris, there's the potential for Huda to now go home because she's going to be single and vulnerable. So that kind of like, you know, dusts his hands off. But then, and the easy way, whereas now, like, I don't think he's fully done. I don't think so.
But go ahead, Logan.
I think I agree with Tiff here.
Mhm.
As much as like, and all of the Islanders were like, "Oh my God, he broke the chain," and even him saying to Iris, "Oh, I just wanted to break the chain of toxicity." I am going to go back to what Huda says after she
Mm,
comes out from her door, because she says what he said to her. She's not his type.
Mhm.
He's not interested in her.
Mhm.
that rings true.
Yeah.
Like
He did
I'm
say
very
that.
curious. He did say that.
He did
Yeah.
say that. But
I'm
I'm
glad they
here's
kept it in the edit. Like, I'm glad
I'm
they showed
really
that.
glad, and I'm glad she said it in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not. I hated that moment. Hated
Yeah.
that moment for her. I hated that moment for Iris. Because what is the purpose of you doing that? Telling
Mm,
that girl and embarrassing her like that, saying
mm,
she is the safe route. Why are you doing it to her? You want,
I didn't
hold on.
like. Yep.
Let me finish. Because you are mad at Jeremiah. You are not
yeah.
mad at this girl. And the fact that you once already said that she is not a girl's girl and she is moving weird and she is doing some, you purposely sat there, came out of that thing after not being chosen, and purposely wanted to embarrass that girl. For what
Mm,
reason? You were already single. You were already vulnerable. This girl had nothing to do. He chose her. This time he chose her. So you should be mad at him. What she said, what she should have did, was she should have pulled Iris aside and said, "Hey, girl, I just want you to know, if you're a true girl's girl, if you're a true girl's girl, you gonna pull that girl aside. I just want you to know you can be in this couple with him, but I just want you to know what he told me. He told me that you are not his type, that he's not interested in you. He didn't like
mm,
sleeping in the bed with you. You don't do that in front of everybody, in front of the group like that. You are not the girl's girl because you did that to embarrass her. That was oh, I
I.
yeah.
was
Yep.
pissed off at that. I was so
Yeah.
mad because you did that to embarrass that girl, and because you are mad that this man didn't choose you. That
Mm,
is vile. And you want to say she's not a girl's girl and you're not a girl's girl. And for 5 minutes later, this not girl's girl helped save your butt. Now you feel bad.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now I feel so bad what I should have said. Girl, your
Yeah.
mouth is gonna get you in a world of trouble because she do not know how to control her mouth. And that's gonna be her downfall. It's almost been her downfall twice,
Yeah.
twice, and she's
Uh-huh.
still doing it. That's what pissed me. I'm not glad she said that in front of everybody. She should have pulled Iris aside and told her that privately. You don't do that to embarrass that girl in front of everybody
Mm,
on national TV like that. That's rude. And for what reason? This girl doesn't deserve any of that from you. She doesn't deserve your vitriol. She doesn't deserve your hate. She doesn't deserve your mouth. She did nothing to you from the moment she walked into the villa. You've been on her case.
mm,
You've been on this girl's case since she's been here. That's all Huda. I'm not gonna put that on Jeremiah. That's all Huda because she is nasty for that. That was so unnecessary. I was like, if I was Huda need to like be very grateful that these bombshells and that these people that they pulling around her are nice. Because if it was somebody like me,
mm,
baby, I would have told her where to go left, right, and sideways. And I would have been like, I don't care about you being a mother. I don't care about you being having trauma because what you're doing is projecting your trauma on me, and I will not have it. You sit here and call me
yeah.
out my name one more time. Call me a bitch again. I'm knock you in your face. I don't care about Love Island. I don't care about none of this. You call me out my name again, and you sit here and talk about me behind my back, and you try to embarrass me. We gonna have it. And don't come to me with that fake, oh girl, I'm sorry. It's just sisterhood. I'm so you meant what you did. You meant what you said when you did it. And now you look stupid because she is actually a bigger and better person than you. Because if I was Iris, baby, I'm running to Jalen's side so fast you couldn't even baby, I'd be like, girl, bye. I would have flipped it off as I walked by. Oh, you can go to
Yeah.
hell. I would have flipped off as I walked over to Jalen's side. You can go to hell all the way to hell and don't talk to me. I would not talk to that girl, but everybody is better than me. I'm not that girl. But I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I went off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what I was going to say was that I'm glad she brought it up so that she could embarrass herself in front of the group. That being Hutta. Embarrass herself in front of the group in that way. I agree with you though. I don't love that she did that to embarrass Iris. I do agree with that wholeheartedly. But it's just another example of Hutta showing her ass in front of the entire group. But for me in this case, I was gonna bring up basically everything you did. You just did so before I had the opportunity to. Which is
That's usually
fine. It is
that's usually the
it
case that happens.
it's fine. It is what it is. No, but I actually think, because I agree with you. I didn't love that it was there to embarrass Iris. Um, but I think for me, it was important to see it in the case of the group situation, because it was Hutta showing her ass to the entire group in a public setting to show that she is unwilling, or she is very willing to throw anybody under the bus at any opportunity, to do whatever she needs to get ahead. And I think now, as we saw in the preview, the group is finally fed up with her shit. I think this is actually an incredibly important point here for the group moving forward, to be like, okay, we're finally done with Hutta's shit. It's not great for Iris, but I think Iris is the kind of girl at this point to be like, all right, girl, whatever. Like, she's so over Hutta's shit that I don't think she gives a fuck. I agree with you. I don't think it was great for her to embarrass Hutta in this way. I don't like to see it for Iris, but I think for the overall group, I don't understand the end result of this whole thing. Let me make that clear still. But I think this was good overall for the group to realize, okay, y'all, we can't keep doing this with her.
Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Like, we can't.
Yeah.
But then they turn around and save her because the vote, they have a dumping is about to happen, because now our singles
Wait,
are,
can I just say really quickly,
yeah.
Yes.
with that last couple, I kind of like, I think, like, yes, it did embarrass Iris with what Huda said, but I don't think Huda thought about it in that way. I think it was more so her trying to expose Jeremiah as a liar, because that's why she kept saying,
Yes,
like, he's a
absolutely.
liar. I think Iris was collateral damage in Huda's attack, which is often the case. So I agree with you all being like, she shouldn't have done that because it does embarrass Iris, because how is it going to feel like, oh, he's not even into you, he's not attracted to you? But it was her trying to be like, Jeremiah is a piece of shit who
Mhm.
lied and said this is what he
Mhm.
said. So I think it's
Yeah.
like, when your back is up against the wall and you know you're like about to like get yeeted off the island,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's her last attempt to be like, well, I'm gonna take you down with me, because I kind of feel like she's that girl that will take anyone
Everybody
down
down
just to,
with it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I agree with that. And I
yeah.
do agree with that. I do think her mind wasn't to embarrass Iris.
Mm,
I don't think that was her mind frame when she was doing it. But
yeah,
the fact that you did it still makes me be like, girl, you don't think
yeah,
about nothing but yourself in
yeah,
situations that's
yeah,
including other people. Like,
yeah,
if it was just something that was going to only affect you and Jeremiah, go by all
totally,
means,
yeah,
go
yeah,
all
It,
that. But
I'm not trying to diagnose people.
mm,
It's narcissistic tendencies.
yeah,
I mean, she's very self-absorbed. She's very self-absorbed in her own world,
Yeah.
and that's just it. But she's single, and but she's single, and we have the votes because now the
mhm,
Islanders have to go stand behind either Jalen or Huda to see which one they want to keep. And
yeah,
I'm like, okay, Islanders. Islanders, just do what you got to do.
yeah,
Do what you need to do, because you have been spending all day talking about how toxic they are. You've been doing all day seeing her
mm,
crash out over the anything and everything. You've been there for 2 days and she watched her crash out. You've been woken up in the middle of the night. You had to deal with her sobbing. You had to deal with her yelling and cussing and all of that for 2 days now. Do what you need to do.
mm,
And we see Nick goes first, or Sierra and Nick go first. Sierra goes stand behind Huda. Nobody's surprised. Nick goes stands behind Jalen. I said, Nick standing on business. Nick said, I'm sick of him. I'm sick of them. Somebody got to go. One of them need to go and run right
yeah,
now. And Nick said, I'm standing on business. Huda, you got to go for the second time. For the second time, Nick did it. Then Austin and Amaya goes. Amaya, of course, goes stand behind Huda. We've been new. Austin goes and stands behind Jeremiah because Austin was up there laughing at
Jalen.
when Jalen. What I say? Austin goes stands behind
Jeremiah.
Austin,
Well, Austin goes stand behind
Austin,
Jalen. Yeah, Austin goes stand behind Jalen because he was up there in that thing talking, laughing at with
mm,
Jeremiah for picking Iris over Huda. He was like, "Thank God!" Like
mm,
Austin was the only ones that said it out loud. It was like, "Thank goodness you did that because you did it for you. Sorry, not sorry. This is toxic. I can't deal with this." So Austin, of course, goes stand behind Jalen. Um, Shelly and Ace goes. And this is where the confusion comes in.
yeah.
Because Ace has been on this side of Huda needs to go. Jeremiah needs to go. This is toxic. I don't like it. They bull crap. Blah, blah, blah. And he goes and stands with Huda, with,
Huda.
with
Yeah.
Shelly. And I'm like, what the heck is happening? Because, and then when Huda tries to grab his hand to say
Mhm.
thank you, he said, oh, hell no.
Yeah. Okay, so he did say that
He
because
did. He
Yes.
said, oh, hell no. So
oh,
I'm
because
like,
my closed caption said he said that, but I thought he said no, I'm good. So
no,
I was like,
he was like, oh, hell no, I'm good. He said, oh,
I'm
hell no, I'm good.
I'm sorry. I'm
Production made
sorry.
this man do
It
this.
yeah,
reeks of production. I'm sorry.
Production
yeah,
made him do this to me. I feel like they were like, you need to do it. And he did not want to do it. And his face showed he didn't want to do it. His actions showed he didn't want to do it.
mm,
But he needed to do it because production told him to. You are not going to convince me otherwise. I'm sorry.
yeah,
They wanted her to stay because she's bringing drama. And I feel like this is so
yeah.
ridiculous to make this girl stay. And her mental health
It's
declines every time
deteriorating.
she
Yeah,
it declines every time, for as long as she's in there, it's just decline. And I think that's psychotic and that's
yeah,
sociopathic. Like for them to do that, like let the
yeah,
girl go,
yeah,
Let her go.
let her
yeah.
go. And yes, I do. I get that you said that the people are saying Ace standing behind Huda was to support Taylor because Jalen would have been Taylor's number one op in the villa going after
Right.
Alindra. But I don't think that's the case. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Jalen would have went after Alindra anymore after the door was
Mm,
locked.
No.
I don't think
yeah.
Jalen was that dude. I think Jalen is the type of dude, once the door was closed and locked, he would have moved on. He would have
Mm,
I
tried
agree.
making connections with other people. He would have waited for another bombshell to come in to maybe try to have that connection. But I think production is stepping in here and making Ace stand behind her because it's not a guy bombshell coming in. It's gonna be another. It's not a girl bombshell
No.
coming in. It's gonna be another guy. And
yeah.
so he would have just still been there making wasting space with no connections. So he needed to go. Production
Mm,
know what they doing. They know it's another girl. It's a girl bombshell coming in. I mean, a boy bombshell
mm.
coming in. So Jalen wouldn't have had anybody there for him anyway.
I also
And
think like Jalen, in terms of like a production and a viewer standpoint, Jalen wasn't offering
him,
any
no,
TV,
no,
He's
you
pretty,
know,
but that's all he was
but that's
providing.
it.
yeah,
So they're just like, we need to like, what's going to keep people watching? What's going to bring in numbers
And
is
unfortunately, it's
unfortunately,
Huda.
yeah,
Because right
yeah,
now, Love Island is the second most watched TV show right now.
yep,
And a
yes,
lot of that has to do with Huda.
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say got to do with Hutter. I just think it has to do with all with
I think
drama
it's the
and people.
drama. People love
A
the
lot
drama.
of it has to do
Yeah,
with the drama, and a lot
yeah,
of that drama has to do with Huda.
And I agree with you too here. Who I don't know who's gonna connect with Hutter, even though because the
yeah,
people, the Casa
Another
guys,
parent.
it, maybe because everybody coming in.
I think at this point they're going to. I feel like if Huda makes it to Casa, which at this point
mm,
I don't
production's
care.
gonna make sure she makes it to Casa. Let's be
mm,
real and honest and genuine on the pod today. They're gonna make sure she makes it to Casa at this point. Um, they're gonna. I feel like they've probably vetted a guy in Casa
Who
that is
has a
a
child?
parent
Hmm.
with a child, or at least with experience with a child
yeah,
for her. They probably have a man set up
yeah,
for Huda,
It might
so
be the
that
next
way,
bombshell that come in.
yeah.
who fucking knows at this
Who
point?
knows at this point? Who knows? But yeah, they Taylor and Alendria. They both go stand behind Hutter. Nobody's surprised
Mm,
because
Unfortunate.
and then Pepe and Hannah. Pepe goes stands behind Jalen. Hannah goes stand behind Hutter. And so Hutter is staying. And unfortunately, like I'm sad about it because he's a sweet guy. He's a sweetheart.
yeah.
I feel like he deserves a chance to find his love too. I think he was like, if we were thinking, if this wasn't a television show, if this wasn't about drama and ratings or whatever, Hutter had her time. She chose not to
Mm,
couple and she chose not to venture out to talk to anybody else but
yeah.
Jeremiah. And it didn't work.
Mhm.
So her time should be gone. She should
Mm,
be gone home. But because this is about ratings and this is about drama and they want people to watch,
yeah.
Jalen didn't give. He's
At
just a
all.
sweet guy. He's just a sweet guy who just really just wanted to find somebody who he can.
Mm,
And he put all his eggs in one basket and it didn't work. And
Yeah.
he's gone. I
yeah.
still like Jalen. I think he's a sweetheart, but it just wasn't giving what he needed it to give.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, there's that.
I feel like he might be better off going on a show like Love is Blind versus Love Island.
Agree.
I
Oh.
feel like he might be better suited for that. Because I think it's like Love Island has way more drama and it's like in your face drama because like you know who everyone's chatting up with, you know all that stuff. But whereas like Love is Blind, it's like you're behind a door, you're in the pods, you're not talking, you don't know who everyone's like grafting with.
Yeah.
And I think because like there are certain people who are in the villa right now for the game, and there are other people who were in there to like find love.
Hmm.
And I think those are the ones, for me at least, are better off on a show like that.
Yeah, I think Jalen on is Blind would be interesting because that man don't talk a
Mm,
lot, and you have to do a lot of talking behind those
mm,
pods.
mm, mm,
So I'm
mm.
like, baby, you gonna have to step it up if you gonna do something like that because you have to
Yeah,
talk, you have to
it's all
communicate,
talking. Yeah,
you have to get people
yeah.
like you by just your voice and talking to them and stimulating their mind, which he did not do in
Mm,
the villa. So
mm, mm.
I don't know. I just feel like we said, we saw the previews. We saw the previews and we saw that
Yeah,
the house is starting to get a little annoyed. But I think they're playing us in this edit. I don't think it's
me
going to be
too.
anything big or because all of that happened, all that conversation happened right after tonight. So all
Hmm.
of that was in the
Mhm.
makeup room. It's nothing that the next day where they're like, we are seriously sick of her. I think we're getting the
Yeah,
bombshell coming in. And I think is going to be somebody for Huda so they can stay so Jeremiah
yeah,
and can start getting look at Huda with this new guy. Oh my goodness. And then they
yeah, yeah,
this is not over. I know it's not over. And my
yeah.
head hurts thinking about the Huda Jeremiah
I'm
situation not
tired.
being over. And I'm tired.
I know.
I'm
Logan's just like,
so tired.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
And the worst part is I'm probably going to be here by myself on Friday talking about it because Lana's going to be out. So I'm going to have to be here
wait,
by
what do I
myself
have
on
on
Friday.
Friday? Let
What
me
do
give
you
me one
have on
second.
Friday?
Hopefully, I mean, if you want to stop by,
Let me check my calendar right now.
it'll be
Friday
3.
is
It's 3 your time. So,
3 my time.
yep.
I can probably do that.
Oh,
Yes. How
Tiffany's
fun.
back.
I can probably do that. So like you're not alone.
Yes.
I'll be in the comments because I'll be on the road traveling
Yeah.
at that time, but
Mm, 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 mm.
I'll be in the comments sending all my thoughts and things. But yes, join us back
Yes.
for Soul Size Live on Friday and Saturday at 16 Eastern. So, so yeah, be here for Logan and then Tiffany when I'm not here and talk to them about Love Island and all of those things.
Yeah.
I'll be back Saturday. We'll be back. We'll be back again on Saturday. And of course, join us for no invites needed live on Friday when we talk at 2 p.m. Eastern when we talk about Love Island UK and all the drama that is going on there. Tiffany Ann Co. We love you. We love you
Oh, but thank you
so
guys for
much.
having me.
Of
You are
course.
welcome.
Always.
You are welcome on Love Island on the Cup TV anytime you want. You have the link. That's gonna always be the link. So anytime you want to pop in, just go back to that link and
I
click
just
on it.
all of a sudden appear and you guys are like, we don't have you booked in this.
That's
Like
fine.
what?
And when we like, and Tiffany's here. So
And Tiffany's here. Great. Big fan.
big
But
fan
Always.
of
you
popping
guys are
in
like,
on
can
us.
you just be like, I'll be the hood and you guys are like, just get the fuck off of our podcast. We
Never.
stand behind Jalen. Get
No,
out.
never. Absolutely not. Never.
Never,
You're
ever,
just a
ever.
panelist at this point. You're just one of
Honestly,
us. It's
I'm an
fine.
unofficial resident panelist now.
No, you're an
Word.
So
official
Official.
panelist, not
Official
unofficial. You're
panel.
official, baby. You're good.
You're good. But we thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you so, so much. We don't have to say it again. You're welcome anytime. But you all, everybody who's watching, thank you for watching. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. And we'll be back, like we said, on Friday and Saturday, still talking about Love Island. Follow us on this channel. Follow us on all of our other channels. We really, really appreciate you. We're trying to make 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So do that. Appreciate you. Follow us on our audio podcast links. Join our Patreon. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And get your merch, your mug at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. And on that note, we're just gonna say we're gonna get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye.
bye.